Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, Bashem Rakak. My name is Yakalba from Plain Tables Camp, and it's Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. So this is mainly talking about Babylon, America, all right, and the Levant, because every place on the earth is not going to be going to have this curse. All right. So what can make your eyes consume away in their holes, and their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet? A very powerful chemical reaction. This is Sarmat. America calls it Satan. Satan 2. Super heavy intercontinental ballistic missile. So it's going to be a nuclear holocaust in Babylon, America. Let's let some of this play.
Russia successfully tested the Sarmat intercontinental ballistic missile. The test successfully took place at the Plesetsk Cosmodrome in northern Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced that the weapon, which can carry nuclear charges, will make the Kremlin's adversaries think twice. The Sarmat intercontinental ballistic missile is a one-of-a-kind weapon that will boost Russia's combat capability, while also ensuring Russia's security from external threats, said President Putin. The Sarmat missile, or Satan II, is one of Russia's next-generation missiles, which Putin has termed as invincible. Facts about the Sarmat missile. The Sarmat missile has been in development since the 2000s. It is one of 6 new Russian strategic weapons, unveiled on March 1, 2018, by Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Sarmat flew, for the first time, on April 20, 2022. And the Russian government expects the missile to enter service later in the year. With a short initial boost phase, the Sarmat is super heavy intercontinental ballistic missile. It is designed to elude anti-missile defense systems, giving enemy surveillance systems a tiny window to track. It is capable of nuclear charges. According to the report, the weapon can be able to carry 10 or more warheads and decoys, and has the capability of firing over either of the Earth's poles, with a range of 11,000 to 18,000 kilometers. How prepared is the US for Russia's Satan II, which is said to be capable of destroying an entire country in seconds? Putin claims that the missile can hit any target on Earth, and it is the most powerful missile, with the longest range of destruction of targets in the world, weighs more than 200 tons, and can carry multiple warheads.
Yeah, who knows how many of them they actually have. All right, so this is what Zechariah saw. All right, he saw Zechariah 14:12, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. All right, this is talking about Babylon, America. All right, and the Levant. So they're gonna, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Let's look up consume. It kept saying consume away. H4743. Makwakwa or makwak says to decay, to pine away, to rot, to fester, to rot, consume away, to pine away. So it's going to do it while they stand. on their feet. This is a nuclear holocaust it's referring to. You have here fire. It's chemicals, basically. All right, so you have certain people saying, oh, chemicals can do that. No shit. Because fire is chemicals. All right. Chemical, I believe, means heat. It says fire is a chemical reaction called combustion. All right. So are you people that say, oh, chemicals can... Zechariah 14 is talking about chemicals. Yeah, it is talking about chemicals. Fire is a particular type of chemical reaction which the atoms in a fuel, this is elementary, the material that burns reacts with oxygen. The reaction produces different molecules. All right? You wise guys, scientists out there. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Meaning they're going to turn to dust. They're going to evaporate. All right. To the skeleton, and then the skeleton is going to be eviscerated into powder, into dust. And the apostle Tahar was going into this in this video. And Satan cast out Satan, how shall his kingdom stand? The Sarmat missile system, and the Americans call it Satan 2. Or Westerners or outsiders, they call it Satan 2. I believe it's Sarmat, or it may have another Russian name also. And they don't know the full capabilities of it. They're just speculating and going on reports on which the Russian media has put out. And they don't even know how many they even have. So they're saying it can destroy something about the size of Texas. So basically, a couple of those totally going with multiple warheads, totally going to destroy Babylon, America. All right, that's eventually what's going to happen. It's going to be a nuclear holocaust here. Somewhere where this video play.
The RS-28 is also said to be capable of traveling across the South Pole to strike targets in the Southern Americas, bypassing the United States missile defense systems in the north. Each of the 10 warheads is a multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicle with a blast yield of 0.75 mt. The Sarmat will also be Russia's first missile, capable of carrying smaller hypersonic boost glide vehicles. These are maneuverable and difficult to intercept. The RS-28 Sarmat ICBM is more lethal than the R-36M Voyevoda ICBMs, currently in service in Russia, due to its upgraded electronic countermeasures, guidance systems, and alternative warhead carrying capacity. According to Putin, the missile will be an effective response to U.S. missile defense deployments near Russia's borders, as well as projects such as Prompt Global Strike. Is it capable of destroying the entire world? Putin mentioned about the missile in a 2018 speech, in which he featured about new weaponry that would render NATO defenses completely useless. While the Pentagon said that Russia's missile, Satan II, is not seen as threatening to the US and its allies. According to some experts, the Sarmat's ability to carry 10 or more warheads and decoys, as well as Russia's ability to fire it over either pole of the Earth, posed a challenge. It is expected to pose a significant challenge to the Western powers' ground and satellite-based radar tracking systems, particularly those of the United States.
All right, and we believe that Babylon, spoken about in the book of Revelation, and in Jeremiah 49:50, is referring to America. It's referring to a super rich, super powerful country that's going to be destroyed by a nuclear holocaust. The army, which is the nuclear warheads, and the parts within those nuclear warheads, together they make up the army that's going to destroy Babylon, which we believe is America. Says Revelation 18, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was litten with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, in the hold of every foul spirit, in the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. So a great kingdom is going to become or a firestorm first, and then after the fire goes down, these desert creatures are going to dwell here. All right. For all the nations have drunk of her wine of her wrath of her fornication, meaning that the nations have drinking of her policies, laws, rule, their democracy. All right. America has a huge influence on the modern system. All right. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, meaning they join with her in those same ideologies, way of living. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Well, the petrodollar. The petrodollar, that's a big one. Trade. The inventions that came out of Babylon, America. Yep. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." All right. And that's when the elect are going to be risen out of Babylon, America, before the fire come down, or simultaneously. So this can only be referring to America, because America has the most influence around the whole earth, even in the East. All right, whether it be their food chains, all right, their style of clothing, technology, which a lot of it came out of America and Britain too. All right. Well, yeah, Thomas Edison was supposed to be the greatest inventor to ever live, apparently. So I read it some places. A lot of American inventions, which a lot of them were supported by so-called, black people, which is the tribe of Judah, and other tribes also. All right. So that's the destruction of America, which is Babylon. It's not talking about Russia. It's not talking about China. It doesn't fit. It fits America. America exports a lot of technology, style, rule, law and order. So the moral compass is exported throughout the world. This protesting thing, all right, it's all generated from, they take after America. I'm sure it started, in Europe also, but it's modeled after the American system, all right. Like the way of teaching, I believe that came from Prussia in America. The way of teaching that what the Americans do, that came from Prussia. But what America made it great, and they follow after America. A lot of these nations, they follow after America. America is the model now. All right, they took it over, just like Rome took a lot of their systems from Greece and from Egypt and from Babylon. All right, but Rome became the dominant power. All right, so what? America has become the dominant power, even though they adopted a lot of these customs from other countries, because America is new, but America became greater. As it is written, whose pomp was more stout than his fellow, even though his fellow existed first. All right.
The Sarmat is a liquid-fueled missile, as compared to US ICBMs, which have moved to solid fuel systems. Regardless of its propulsion system, the Sarmat is predicted to pose a significant threat to the United States missile defense systems, but it cannot destroy the entire world. The claim is false, multiple reports have confirmed. According to a May 2016 news report by Sputnik, it is capable of destroying an area the size of Texas or France. In another news report, the Russian government said Satan II could evade the United States defense shield and is capable of destroying an area the size of England and Wales or Texas. Amid the ongoing Russia-Ukraine crisis.
Right, and they're not going to use, nobody's going to use the major powers. They're not going to use a nuclear weapon. We don't believe so anyway. But there's talk of, pocket nukes and all that. All right. we believe that they're going to be reserved. They're going to reserve those for the Third World War, the end of it. All right, because the beginning of it, it's already said that we're in. It's by proxy, and we believe that. Eventually, it's going to get into a full scale. Then the very end of it is going to be nuclear holocaust, and we believe the European allies, with them that have committed fornication with her, same thing. Mainly the ones that have nuclear capability. Well, the only ones that have nuclear capability, they're going to shoot their army, which is their nuclear arsenal, on Babylon, America, and on the Levant. That's what we believe. All right. Obadiah, the first chapter. All the men of thy confederacy have deceived thee and brought thee to the border. You're at the brink of your destruction. Them that were at peace with thee has deceived thee. Roughly paraphrase. Obadiah. All right. That's referring to the European allies and the destruction of America. All right. So now you know what the fire is and its composition. Its term. Fire is a chemical reaction. All right. Let me finish this video off.
Crisis, and the timing of the test reflects the Russians wanting to have something to show as a technological achievement. Even before the missile launch, American officials and foreign leaders were debating whether their success in isolating Russia from much of the global economy, effectively making it a diplomatic social outcast, would fuel Mr. Putin's desire to assert his country's strength. Despite early setbacks on the ground in Ukraine, the first launch of the nuclear-capable Sarmat missile was just the latest example of how he has tried to remind the world of his capabilities in space, cyberspace, and along Europe's coast.
So that was a video done April 21st, 2022. All right, check that out in full length if you want. So we know that this current system can't stand, because the apostle is saying here that all these Edomites are fighting each other. These are Edomite, so-called Caucasians fighting each other from the various different families. The Russians look a little different, Eastern Europeans, Western Europeans, but they're all Edomites. Just like amongst our nation, we have different tribes that look different. All right. So he has here Luke, if Satan. Matthew 12, Mark 3, and Luke 11. Luke, if Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand? Because you say that I cast out devils by Beelzebub. He's not saying he had power with Satan. He was getting his power from Satan. No, Satan gets his power from him. It's the other way around. This is the only begotten of the Father, Yahushua, that came in the flesh. Now he's in the spirit. He's not coming in the flesh anymore. He's gonna remain power. So I shall not meet thee as a man. All right. So he's coming back as a total and full power. All right. If Satan be divided against Satan, let me look at Luke 11:18. Then I'll end it there. So it's Luke 11:18. Still rolling, all right. G1266. We got Daya Mirazzo, and to cut in pieces, to be divided into opposing parts, to be a variant dissension, disagreement that leads to discord. War, to distribute, is divided. All right, here, a little there, broken up. So it won't stand. So if all these parts are being divided, and the nuclear fire, the nuclear holocaust is going to put a total destruction. That's going to be total division right there when the fire comes. The nuclear holocaust, spoken about Zechariah, the 14th chapter. All right, so you can check the Apostles video out. Let's see. 28 minutes long. All right. And I'll label this response to Apostle. If Satan cast out Satan, how shall his kingdom stand? All right. It won't stand. It's impossible. It's going to be broken up and given to the burning flame. All right. So I hope you're edified. Shalom.